we are then. It's 6th of April, I think. And this is just a little progress report. Friends that don't get down here to see what improvements I've made very much, and importantly, people connected with managing my money probably keep wondering what the heck I'm spending cash on when I put expense claims in, and hopefully this ought to explain it a little better. So Simon and Sophie, this is especially for you. There's a 12-foot gate gone in there, posts either side, and gates are all about 120 quid, and there's about 9 or 10 new ones got on here, so it's nearly 1,000 quid's worth in gates. That's the new double fence that I put up, and that's a week's work right there. All the spaces are planted up with willow cuttings, and what I'm hoping is that they will sprout and come on, and if we get every other one come up, that would be fantastic. The idea is to divide the wet end of the marsh up, because late in the season, September time-ish, it often gets quite wet on this other side and cattle aren't exactly clever. So in the dry, it makes a nice retreat for a young cow with her first calf. They might need a little bit of a quiet area. Later in the season, it will keep the cattle on the dry side of the marsh. That's just that last couple of acres there that gets really wet. So this fence is about 75 metres long. I say 3-stranded wire with a 3-metre gap, and the middle's filled in with willow, and hopefully they'll stabilise the soil, make it less boggy, suck up some of the water. This is the 8-foot gate I put in this side, and you can see they're 6-inch strainers, braces to take the weight of the wire that pulls through. 8-inch gate just to give us something to walk through on this bit of a track here. All of these posts were banged in by me by hand. So there's 240 something willows in there. Had a half a day's help from my old friend Nick, very much appreciated. There's another 100 willows gone in this one that I put in today. I could only get the cheap wire, being a bank holiday. Not everywhere was open, so I'm not very pleased with it. It's very skinny stuff, and I doubt it'll last that long. They also didn't have too many posts, so I've had to put 16-foot centres in, which I'm not best pleased with. However, again, the idea is to get some hedging in, some screening with willow if it comes on. And this is just the t'other end, and I've gone this far down because you obviously have to leave drinking areas for the cattle, and that comes down to the land bridge that I put in and finished last year. This was a new crossing that was backfilled with crushed rubble and concrete that I had to get more telegraph poles, and this was the whole pond that was fenced off. And the idea of that, of course, is because the cattle go right up to the edge. They're not particular about where they go to toilet, and they do make a right old mess of things. So coming through there, this is the new corner L-shaped double fence that I put in. Again, willow planted up in the middle, and there are 125 willows in this one. So we're getting up for something like 500 willows have gone in, all cuttings off of trees that are along the track here. and that's going to nicely screen this area. Looking over to another one of the gated entrances, a new gate on there. Looking back towards my truck, that's the double gated entrance that was all new. So if half of those willows take, we'll be in good shape. So there's about 500 gone in there. There's also 100 or so gone in round the pond, and this is all going to help keep wildlife in the area. There's not a lot will grow down here apart from willow, dog willow, because we get sometimes as much as 2 months almost continuous flooding on here, and these have been flooded for up to 6 weeks at a time, a foot or so underwater. So you can't do anything in the winter, but it's very rich grazing in the summer. We want to just probably go and take a look at this back dike that I had pulled out. They had a machine down here, and I approached the driver. He was doing work on another area. In fact, the dike that we own halfway across, that's the responsibility of the inland drainage board. And I asked him if he'd pull this back dike out for me. So I had to pay for it, of course. And that's all the spoil that's gone out on the sides. That will all dry off and come through grass, but that's gets the drainage in good condition. And all of these jobs that I do and improvements that I make, all required under cross compliance in order to get the government payments for land husbandry. Keep it nice. You have to fill out forms that say you're looking after the land in the appropriate manner, and of course you have to keep it attractive for people who want to perhaps rent the grazing. I'm not sure whether the grazing's gone this year. Actually, I thought it was, but I was having a chat with the farmer the other day, and he said he might now have enough and he might not take it from me. So if that's the case, I'll try and sell some hay and see how we get on with that. That's the new 8-foot gate I put in on the pond. Get in and out. This is the back dike, again the other side that was all pulled out. This was completely overgrown with reed and weeds, and wasn't draining at all. And there again, there's all the spoil. I've got to get in and pull the wood out when that dries off, have a bonfire and burn that off. So that's how I've spent my Easter weekend. 4 days every day, between 8 and 12 hours a day. And hopefully seeing those willows come up and making it look a lot nicer will be a nice reward. Just seeing the whole area improved, it's a great satisfying feeling. So until next time.